I thought I'd take today and show you some of my favorite moves to help strengthen your bridge shape. So these moves are designed to support flexibility work. They do work flexibility, but they're primarily strength moves, so make sure that you're also working your flexibility piece of your bridge. But by getting better at these moves, what you're going to teach your body how to do is be more confident in holding the bridge position, so that you're not just hanging on for dear life, you're actually able to control your bridge and hold it for a little bit longer, and also do more skills in a given practice without your back starting to talk back to you and say, enough's enough. So of course, if you have a back injury or you've been told to avoid bridges, don't try these particular things unless you've cleared it with your doctor and or your physical therapist. But assuming that you're all good and you're just a little bit needing some help on your bridges, or you just need some conditioning ideas, then this should be a great series for you to follow. So the first thing we're going to do is work some upper body strength that will help with your bridge. For that, you can grab a stick. The stick is here. So this is just a pipe type stick. It is not a broom or anything, but a lot of people use a broomstick or anything that's a stick-like thing is fine. It doesn't really matter, but you will find that lightness is good, so a baseball bat might be a little too much. So you can lie on your stomach. You're gonna put your head on the ground. We're gonna lift the stick. Try to hold for 5 seconds with your elbows straight, and then slowly lower back down. As you lift, you can extend the stick away by shrugging your shoulders. And then back down. Try to keep your heels together and your butt squeezed during this. That helps work a little bit more flexibility all throughout your spine as you do the move. If this move is really hard for you though, you could open your legs and that might make it a little bit more accessible, so that is an option. You can also play with the spacing. So wider is easier. So do what you need to do with that. Try one more time. Hold. Also make sure that you're not cocking your wrist. So take a look at my hands. This is cocking my wrist. This is straight. So I really rather that you guys keep your wrist straight, because it isn't a great habit to work on the wrists while you're doing something for your back. So what happens is people go to lift their stick and they're like, I want to lift a little more, and you feel like you're doing it more when you move your wrists, but it's really just that you're moving your wrists. So try to not do things like that while you're strengthening, because it doesn't teach the right muscle group to kick in. So just try to be aware of that. And if you don't know what your body's doing, you can always videotape yourself or have a friend watch and let you know. So we'll move next to the lower body. For this, you can lie on your stomach. Again, this time though, your arms can be just whatever's comfortable over your head. You can squeeze your butt and your heels together. I'd like you guys to press your hips into the floor as you lift your legs off of the floor. Hold for 5 seconds. Slowly lower. And again, squeeze and lift. I do like it when folks let their heels come apart when they come down, just so that it's a full reset and that you're having to initiate that tight position for each rep. So I don't usually let people just bounce up and down, because that way you're actually getting that reinitiation with each lift. So this is working your open hips and your bridge. One more time. Okay. So next we're going to do another upper body one that involves having a roller. So for this, you're going to, if you have a long roller, that would be awesome. If you don't, you can make do with a shorter one. I'll actually show the shorter one first, just for people who might need that variation. So if you've got the shorter roller, you're gonna put your head on the end of it. You're gonna do one thumb up. You're gonna extend your arm, shrug from your rib cage. As you think of your pinky leading the way, you're gonna lift. And then you're gonna come back down. This one does not need to be held for 5 seconds. 2 seconds is plenty, but it's more important that you go slow so you can feel everything that's going on. So you're shrugging away, you're leading with the pinky, you're lifting. Just like that. So that's the one-armed one. Now, if you have a longer roller, you can do the two-armed one. However, some people get better results when they stick with one arm just because it makes sure that you're isolating each arm and you're able to focus on it. Because a lot of people have one arm that is much more easily done than the other. So try it always, but if you do have a longer ruler, the 2-armed one can be a very efficient way to do it. So you're doing now the 2, if you have it again. Putting the forehead right on the roller, lifting, making sure you're shrugging and lifting. You can do it twice more. I'm keeping the numbers smaller today just so we can get a feel for things. A lot of these positions are things that our body doesn't do that often, especially if we're adults who sit for work or driving or whatever else. So all of these positions are actually the opposite of sitting. They're opening the body. And while it's really, really good for us, it can be hard to do this kind of out of nowhere and throw too many numbers at it. So I do suggest starting maybe with 5 reps of a lot of these, and then you can build up from there. Anything up to 15 is fair game, but make sure you build up and you be smart about it. Next, we're going to do a leg and kind of glute move. So we're gonna go on the stomach for this. You're gonna assume a froggy type stretch shape with your toes close together. First things first, I want you guys to see if you can lift your knees off the ground by squeezing your butt. So we're gonna squeeze your butt and see if your knees can come up. Your quads obviously come along for the ride there. So you're lifting and then down. Some people will find that their hamstrings or their calves or feet will cramp when they try this. So you have to just do what you can. If you start cramping, you might be done for the day for that, but try it again the next day and you might find that you can do it. So we're lifting off. If you can lift off, you then want to try to bring your knees in and then out, all while keeping your thigh off the ground. So this one can be a lot of force on the glutes and the hamstrings, but you can see you're in an open hip position, which is really great. So try 5 of those and then come on out of that one. So again, that one can be built up to 15 reps, but you might not want to start with that if you've never done it before. So we can go ahead to a thoracic lift next. This one's going to be on your stomach. You're going to put your arms in a Y shape, and you're going to lift your basically torso, head, and arms. So up, you're looking up at the ceiling. So that now we're integrating the cervical spine into this too, and you're fighting against gravity to lift your body. So if you flip it around, you'd actually notice that the muscles engaging here are the same exact ones that are forming your bridge shape for you. And we're also adding the eyes. So where your eyes look, your body follows. So if you're looking up, you're going to go further than if you don't. Test it out and see. Trying to keep your heels still together. All right, so I know I just broke my rule and I did more than 5, but I've been working on that. So that one isn't quite as crazy, so that one you probably could start with 10. And from there, we're going to go to basically making the soup. So we just did 5 moves. We did upper, lower, upper, neck, this, that, all these things. We're gonna combine that into the uniform bridge shape, but we're gonna put a little bit of a different spin on it. So we're gonna lie on our stomach and do what I call a yoga bridge, which I know is not the right term. Sorry guys, I don't know all the yoga terms. But I've seen this done in a lot of yoga classes, and I like to do it as a warm-up before I do gymnastics, so I'm hoping that you guys will benefit from it as well. So you're going to lie on your stomach. Now there are many different ways to do this in yoga, by the way, but I'm just gonna show you guys the one that has worked best for me. So you're on your stomach. You're gonna grab on the top of your foot, so you're basically, I like to flex my toes and just go to the border of them so my index finger's near my toes, and that way I can tell where I am. So once I've got that, what I'm gonna do is squeeze my butt. I'm gonna start gently kicking up, and I'm going to look toward the ceiling. And what will probably happen is your legs are gonna start opening. But what I want you to do once you feel like you're somewhat at your max is I want you to start pulling them in a bit if you can. And you're just looking up and you're kicking. So the priority is kicking. You're kicking into your hands. You're not really pulling with your arms. You're looking at the ceiling. And you might be here, and that might be all you can do. It might even be hard for you to grab your feet. That's fine. You also might be folded your body in half, and you're way better than me at it. Again, we're all different. We're all in a different place with this. But that one, you can hold that for about 20 seconds. And that one can be done for 2 sets, maybe resting in between for 20 seconds or so. So speaking of sets, all of these moves can be done for more than 1 set. So once you know them, you can do the 1 set, rest for about 30 seconds, and then do it again. And by going through these strengthening movements, what you should find is that your bridge, you just get more comfortable with it. It feels more comfortable to do. You're not just hanging on for dear life when you're in it, but your muscles are actually prepared. And what that's going to do for you too is it's going to help you in your skills. So say you go to do a back walkover, a front walkover, a back handspring, even something like a tap on bars. That's an arch shape. That's similar to a bridge. So these types of strengthening movements will help all of those things. They'll also be really good for your posture, because most of us spend a lot of time sort of slumped forward throughout the day. We're texting, we're typing, we're driving, we're cooking, we're cleaning, all these things. So anything you can do to just open it back up is really good for you. And especially now if you're not going to gymnastics because of the coronavirus, well, it's important to keep our bodies moving in all directions. So try to give this series a try 3 times a week would be awesome, and I hope it helps.